Hello bookish friends, it is spooky season, which means it is my time to shine. Here is what's on my spooky season TBR so that you may add them to your spooky season TBR, and we've got everything from serial killers falling in love, to aliens, to haunted houses, to 80s old school horror monster madness. Now I will do a disclaimer in that I possibly won't read all of these books. I've chosen 12 books which I think are going to really fit the kind of spooky season theme / books that I want to read because I'm a mood reader. And I'm not necessarily sure I'm going to be able to read all of these, but I've chosen 12 because the max books I've ever read in a month, excluding audiobooks, is 12, so why not set myself a goal? Number 1, we have got The Cursed. Now this is the sequel to The Coven. I talked about that book a little bit last week in my video when I was talking about my September reading wrap up, so you can check out that book there. But I'm eagerly anticipating the sequel to that book because my god, did it end with a plot twist that I feel was made just for me. The Cursed is a witchy paranormal romance with demons involved. The heroine is a witch. The hero is a demon. He is not a good person. I will really put this out there. It is like a dark paranormal romance. He is genuinely a villain. So book 1 is called The Coven. This is called The Cursed. Perfect spooky season reading, and also I just need to know what happens next. Next we have got Tourist Season. Now Brim Weaver I think is just the author to be reading during the spooky season. She is just perfect for this kind of thing. I did not realise this book was out until 2 days ago, where I realised it was out and I impulse bought it. But I mean, look at the cover, that is beautiful, and it's October. I need to read this. Something is like rattling and I don't know what it is. It's like vibrating and it's freaking me out a little bit, but nevertheless, this basically seems to be, in true Brim Weaver fashion, serial killers falling in love. And you know what? Serial killers, they deserve love too. No. I mean, the serial killers she writes tend to be very morally grey, like serial killers that kill other serial killers, Dexter style, you know? So we can kind of root for them. I'm okay with rooting for them, kind of ish. Regardless, it's fiction, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, serial killers falling in love. This seems really fun, perfect spooky season vibe. She knew exactly what she was doing with this colour scheme. Everything is perfection and I cannot wait to read it. Next we've got Paradise 1, and I've had this book on my physical TBR for a while, so I figured why not actually read it. Now it's a little bit beefy. I think it's, oh no, it's beefier than I thought. Oh. Okay, so it's close to 700 pages. That does make me want to die a little bit, I'm not going to lie to you. Basically, it is a space horror, and I really love space horrors, and I wish more people were writing good, genuine horror in this kind of subgenre because I love it. But it's basically, Paradise 1 is the name, and that is also the name in the book of Earth's first deep space colony. And then it goes dark and there's no communication received, and obviously the hero of the book is sent to find out what the fuck is going on. I don't know. This may well end up being a DNF. I don't know. I don't know this author. I don't know if it's going to be really horror focused or if it's just going to be like a sci-fi fantasy for the most part. I don't know what to expect, and 700 pages is soul crushing because I don't tend to read books that long. I do tend to get like really antsy to move on. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try and read it, and if I need to DNF, I will give myself the grace and the option to do so. Hell House. This is my copy that is looking a little worse for wear because about 7 months ago I dropped it in the bath. I'm sure many of you have heard of Hell House before. This is like a 70s, I think it was written in, something like that, 70s haunted house book. I am 76 pages in, and it's been a while since I picked this one up. I didn't DNF, I just put it down because I'm a mood reader and I fancied reading something else. And yeah, already there were quite a few like problematic of the time things in there, but nevertheless, it's not going to put me off reading it. I will take it as a product of its time. But it's a classic, it's one that I've been wanting to read for quite some time, and I think spooky season is the perfect time to actually get the job done. Picture Perfect is next. This is not a spooky read whatsoever. It's just Tessa Bailey's new book, and as I am a Tessa Bailey stan, I have to read it. Now I will say there's not been a single Tessa Bailey book I've read prior to the last book in this series that I haven't liked. I forget what the name of the last book in this series was, but look at whatever the book was. Oh, Dream Girl Drama, I think it was called. I read that and I really didn't like it. I didn't like the way the romance was portrayed. I didn't like the plot beats. It wasn't the kind of forbidden love of a stepbrother and stepsister, because, like, spoiler alert, it's not forbidden love in my... I don't think there was a problem with it at all. They met, they had no idea that they were going to be step siblings. And on the night that they met is the night they met each other's parents, and they announced that they were getting married, but they hadn't met each other prior to that. They hadn't grown up together. They're not related. Does it really fucking matter? Well, apparently in that book it did, but I didn't like the whole thing really. Regardless, I've read like probably 10, 12 of Tess Bailey's books, and that's been the one that I haven't liked. So obviously I'm going to keep reading her books. I can't say that I was super looking forward to this book and probably the next one as well, because it follows the two characters that are affectionately named in the books as the orgasm donors, and they seem like fuckboys, but not in the fun way. So we're gonna see. Let's see if I like this book. I will certainly keep you informed. Leather and Lark is next, another Bryn Weaver. I have read, forget what the fuck, Butter and Blackbird. I've read that book, really, really enjoyed it. I think it was a 4.5 out of 5. I just, for some reason, picked up the second book and just never read it. So this is on my TBR as well. Not gonna lie, I'm more excited to read Taurus season. So if I have to prioritize one over the other, I will prioritize that one, but I hope to get to both this month. Okay, next is Cold Moon Over Babylon. I need some bonkers, weird 80s horror, and that is going to deliver this to me. I believe it's like a monster horror in like a small town. I'm not 100% sure, honestly, what this book is about, but I know it's 80s. I know it's bound to be insane because all of the 80s horrors I've read has been. And I just think it's going to be like the palate cleanser kind of madness break that I need. Next, we've got The Winter King. Now, this is a romantasy. And you might be thinking, Carly, you keep saying over and over again that you're not romantasy girly, and that's still true. But my friend bought this for me for my birthday because she heard that it was really good. And I've had another friend whose recommendations I trust more than my own tell me that it's actually really romantic and supposed to be really good. And I believe them. So I'm looking forward to reading a romantasy. And I believe this book is about a king who takes a kind of enemy kingdom's daughter, the heroine, as his bride in revenge. And I always love the I'm going to marry you out of revenge to ruin your family kind of vibes. I love that. And then he accidentally falls in love with her and he can't help himself. I just go feral for that. So yeah, this book sounds right up my alley and I'm looking forward to reading it. And I just thought, well, it's not really spooky vibes, but you know, when can you read a romantasy if not spooky season? We've also got My Fair Lover, which is not a spooky season read at all. I just fancy a historical romance. And it's a sizzling twist on My Fair Lady, apparently. I've never watched My Fair Lady or read it. Is it a book or just a movie? Look at me, professional booktuber, wow. I feel like I've made a huge faux pas there, but regardless, I've never watched it or read it or both. I don't know what it is, but I'm just very intrigued and I like the cover. It's a very sensual cover, which I enjoy. And yeah, I just felt like a historical romance, so I chucked that one in there. So this looks like a really fun slasher. Now, I absolutely love this cover. This is an excellent cover. Let's have more covers like this that are actually really good. And it kind of gives me kind of like 80s movie poster vibes to an extent, but it appears to be about the heroine who is a TV star that goes on, I believe, like a reality TV show called Camp Castaway. It doesn't say it's a reality TV show, but I assume it is. And basically, the camp appears to be haunted by the local legend of Knock Knock Nancy, a beheaded local woman who roams the woods and also beheads people. I'm really hoping this is a fun, spooky, maybe campy slasher. Blood Meridian is next. So this is quite a swift U-turn in that it's apparently a really gory, depraved Western horror. So I don't know for sure if it's based on true events. Oh, it literally is. That's why I was reading the blurb. I was like, is it? It's based on historical events that took place on the Texas-Mexico border in the 1850s. It traces the fortunes of the kid, a 14-year-old Tennessean who stumbles into a nightmarish world where Indians are murdered and the market for their scalps is thriving. So this sounds really harrowing, and like I'm going to read this and then my life will be changed forever, but not for the better. But I was really interested in reading this a while ago, so I bought it. I'm still really interested in reading it, and yeah, this one I feel is not going to be like, oh, a fun, enjoyable horror. I feel like it's going to be really, really upsetting, but nevertheless, I've got it on my TBR and I hope to read it. It's probably not one of my priority reads because it is one that I think is going to require some emotional resilience to read, but nevertheless, it certainly is on my TBR. Next we have The Shuddering. This is about a group of friends who are in like an isolated mountain camp, an isolated mountain cabin, sorry, not camp. They have a snowstorm, it maroons them, and also it appears there are monsters, so bad news bears for them. Will they make it out alive? Maybe. Probably most of them no. But this is one that's been on my TBR for ages, and I finally decided to take the plunge and just buy it. So I'm looking forward to a really creepy monster horror. I do like the kind of micro trope of being snowed in a cabin in the mountains and there being a monster there. And finally, we have The Silence of the Ghosts. I know nothing about this book or the author, so this could be good or it could be really terrible. But it's a haunted house book set during the Second World War. The Blitz starts and the characters go to their family house on the shores of Ullswater in the Lake District. One of the characters is profoundly deaf apparently, but is hearing spooky noises in the house, which I find the concept of that really, really deeply unsettling and unnerving. And basically, they go into the attic and an ancient evil is released or something like that. This could be a book that's either really good or really bad. It is quite short, so it's one that I will probably most likely get to this October. If I don't manage to get to them all, this will probably be one that I do prioritise because I'm very curious about it. But that, my bookish friends, is my spooky season TBR. Are you adding any of these to your spooky season TBR? Do you have any spooky season recs for me? Because I will add them to my TBR and I will read them even outside of spooky season, because spooky season for me is all year round. I am in fact a spooky bitch. Let me know if you're going to read any of these. Let me know if you have any recommendations. But other than that, I will see you in my next video. Please do subscribe for my sparkling personality. Shouldn't have led with that one, to be honest, because I'm not sure that's my main selling factor. I also bring more to the table, such as romance book reviews and discussions and recommendations, ditto horror books. I am a weird book girly, so I will be bringing back my weird book series soon, and I have a variety of different series that I want to bring back, including books and ball gowns. So if you want to know what that is, subscribe, because a video will be coming up in the next few weeks. Subscribe, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.